warm welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, Season 8 with me, Sonali Krishna. In line with the network's theme of India Revival Mission, today I bring to you a state which has really outdone itself. This is really a standout case, and I'm bringing you this state's view on today's episode. It's none other than Kerala. Kerala has now become a case study of sorts, not only for India, but the world. Remember, this was a state that had its first COVID positive case way back in Jan 30th. And the way it's handled the health crisis in the state and the migrant crisis is just been impeccable. On that note, let me introduce my guest to you today. It is Thomas Isaac, the Finance Minister of Kerala. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister, for joining me right here on Leaders of Tomorrow.
Hello.
You know, the Leaders of Tomorrow is really a platform where we address all the concerns and pain points of SMEs, MSMEs and startups. And I really want to discuss their plight with you in Kerala in particular. So first things first, your view on, the current on-ground reality of these three units, SMEs, MSMEs and startups. And secondly, if you can throw light on the kind of relief measures that the central government has actually focused on for these sectors. Do you think with that, along with your own initiatives, which you can enlighten me on, will be enough to salvage the crisis people employed in these spaces will overcome?
Yeah. See, the lockdown has affected the MSME sector very, very badly. It would have affected all manufacturing industries, but there are certain specific features of MSME which make them very vulnerable to this kind of shocks. One, you inquire with any small-scale factory, even shop owner, they would tell you about nearly 2 months of lockdown had destroyed all the raw material. Products in the godown, many of them cannot be sold anymore. So the loss they have incurred is much higher, even more than the farmers and so on, because, the crops continue to grow even under lockdown. There may be some problem in harvesting and selling it, but MSP sector, lockdown means, and that to prolonged lockdown, that your stocks, both of raw material and products get damaged. And now it may not be possible to compensate for all these damages. Okay, that I understand. We cannot, financial terms, think of that. But then that highlights two sets of issues. One is the existing debt. What do you do with that? Second is you need more debt for working capital to get on. Now, my criticism regarding the packages, they have looked only at this second aspect, their loan requirements to restart. But what about the existing debt in the context of the great loss they have suffered? So that for that, the response is, 6 months moratorium is given. But that doesn't give any substantial relief, because at the end of the period, the MSME units would have to pay the interest. And the minimum that could have been done is postpone this interest payment for a year or two, so that when they are on their feet, you pay for it. Okay, not now, after 2 years. I'm not even asking you write it off. In fact, the best opportunity would be the government of India should bear 6 months interest burden so that they're free. Debt principal they would have to repay, but interest is taken for the moratorium period by the government. So this is the biggest problem with this package. And then when you go to the other thing, there are three components coming. One is so-called 3 lakh crore rupees, which is guaranteed 20% loan. Okay. Second is, that is only for the SMA 0 and 1 that said if your arrears are not exceeding 60 days. But what about other uh, NPA units and so for them 20,000 crores rupees put. I don't know how it's going to be deployed. And third, there is fund of funds, which provides for the share additional capital for the small scale units. Now, the problem with this is now you may have this loan system, but what makes you think that banks will loan them? You have to do much more if you want to kickstart the production.
I see. Okay, I understand. Your critique of the central government in terms of its relief measures for MSMEs, because I guess the centerpiece of that relief package is really loans, and we're not sure how far that execution on ground will really take off. Having said that, what is the Kerala government doing, as its own initiative to safeguard or protect or at least salvage some of the big damage that has been caused to these very, very vulnerable sectors?
So we have announced a 20,000 crore package, of which about 10,000 or 12,000 crores is direct transfer. Now, this is not a new transfer that is taking place. All the people, there are 55 lakh people who are to get entitled to get welfare pension of 1,300 rupees per month. We have been increasing it 100 rupees every year. So, up payment, clearing of the arrears, and so on. So there is some, and lot of workers, I mean, every family, rest of the family who didn't get any welfare payment, that's arrears, everything came to 8,500 rupees per family. We have said every other family will get 1,000 rupees each, and which we have given. So it comes to something like 10,000. Then we are providing consumption loans with industry for self-help groups. Again, leveraging the banks, but interest is borne by the state government. See, these are all intending consumption to the people. For the rest, we have got very small financial institutions. Uh, there's a cheat fund, Kerala State Financial Corporation, KFC, State Finance Corporation, KSCDC, and then importantly now we have formed a Kerala Bank. Okay. Amalgamating all our district banks, and this is going to be our price catch. So we are putting together a kind of very liberal scheme. For example, ordinary chit fund. Okay, what we are doing is, okay, you are coming back from outside and you want to start something, join the chit. Um, you can get all the chit money upfront. Okay, and you have to pay monthly installments the chit. It's a fixed dividend scheme. Now this is very attractive. We are told say the traders, okay, on mutual guarantee, that you have to give mutual guarantee of 5 people, we will give you upfront money. We have been cleaning very systematically financial enterprises in Kerala. For example, our finance corporation now has uh, a double rating. All right, that's something unique. Only finance corporation in India today, I mean, state finance corporation has a rating, and that enables us to access market funds at a relatively low rate. So we are using our, to the extent possible. We cannot think in, say, tens of thousands, but 5,000, 6,000 crores of rupees to be pumped in various ways into this small scale sector at a concessional rate. We are telling our institutions, doesn't matter. Your government owned, you give dividend to government, we are not bothered. Now keep the interest rate low, be liberal. You're trying to do what you can. So we are doing this. Third intervention would be sector-specific programs which will be funded from this year's budget. For example, you have entrepreneurs in the tourism sector, they're doing very badly. So we are telling them, okay, look, wait for next season. Maybe we will start in December. So we have a package for them. We have started marketing this sector, telling the world, Kerala is the safest place. Come. Come to visit Kerala, even if there is COVID in some part of the world. We are safe here. So this is a package for, and we have postponing our CBL, boat race projects to the end of the year. We are planning that. So boat race season starts in December. Normally it starts in August. December, we'll make a show of it and try to bring in people. So that's it. Same pharmaceuticals. That's one area where we think Kerala Health brand can be sold. So we are starting a pharma park. Land has been taken. We have SPV, which raises resources from the market, not from the budget, from the market. Do you know how much? 50,000 crores. Okay, you'll be shell shocked. A state government can do it, but we are doing it.
What, in your opinion, despite all your attempts to contain the kind of damage on ground and try and support people as much as you can, what will be the general casualty we will see in the next 1 year thanks to the health crisis we're seeing? And my second question is, a lot of Malayalis are in the Middle East, and I'm sure will want to come back home. Because Kerala has proved to be such a great state in terms of how they have conducted themselves. People are stranded in different parts of the world, would want to come back home. So the kind of inflow, whether it be in terms of migrant workers or even people employed around the world who have possibly lost their jobs, would want to come back home. So how do you see, in terms of hard reality, the actual unemployment figures that we're going to see on ground?
I'm mentally prepared to accept that we are going to be in trouble. Okay, despite all this. My calculation, and in fact it is supported by a study undertaken by the state government, if the present conditions can lengthen to, say, for 6 months, then Kerala economy will shrink by 10% in current prices. And if you assume 5% increase in inflation, the contraction of the economy will be 15%. That's a huge number. That's a huge number. We have gone by sector and analyzed it, and that's our assessment. These people who come back, they're coming back with their savings, and they have their world experience and certain new skills. We'll see if they can be accommodated in the MSME sector. But today, the greatest strength, the source of strength of Kerala is the financial innovation we made about 3 years back. We formed the Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board, which would raise resources from all around and lend to not government, but PPP companies or parastatals, special purpose vehicles, who would implement infrastructure. Now the amount is not small. We are thinking of 50,000 crores of borrowed funds. Now instinctively you will think, how can you do that? How can you raise this? Nobody took it seriously. But now everybody is sitting up. We have a very simple business model. We pay by legislated act half our motor vehicles tax annually and assess on petrol to this company. So they have an assured growing revenue for future, year after year. And 30,000 crores projects, road, buildings, industrial parks, and so on are ready, tender ready, half them tendered. So the moment something sense of a normalcy starts, we'll be starting our big stimulus program. See, some 50,000 crores of rupees is not a small amount for a state. And so many people believe that it cannot happen. So what we want is the post-COVID Kerala would be something different. We are going to modernize our infrastructure, putting good money into that. Then use that to invite investment in sectors which will have maximum linkage effect in Kerala, which is more in tune with our environment and human resources, like service-based industries, skill-based industries, knowledge-based industries. So I think the pandemic will provide a major break.
Sure. Mr. Minister, how would you look at the Prime Minister's announcement of India becoming Atmanirbhar? Are you in line with what, his motto will be for India going forward? Is that something you're looking at also within Kerala? And what's the plan ahead? Because I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, as of now, I think Kerala is very used to importing stuff, not really manufacturing.
Absolutely. I have absolutely no objection to this slogan. I would, even before that, I would have been always had a inclination for self-reliant in India. And it also shows that in the immediate future, the kind of globalization what one thought is not going to be realized. Okay, there is some chains are broken. And it also shows that India being a larger economy with large population, like China, for example, we should now have a big foot in our domestic market. You don't know what the world outside is going to be. So it's not inward looking, but we should see that our huge domestic market is an important um, strength of ours, and that you now also try to innovate, grow, attract more capital from outside, and so on. I'm all for it. Absolutely no difference on this point. But the means of achieving that, this goal of self-reliant India, regarding that, I have different vision. Not on the slogan as such. How do you reach that state? One, in Kerala, we have to have a public sector to perform. Last time, the left government, all the public sector units became profitable making. See, we are going to run that. So we tell the private investors, look here, in our state, how public sector is profitable, then why can't you come and be profitable in Kerala? See, so we will see that public sector is profitable. See, in my constituency, there is a public sector medical drugs company, Kerala Drugs and Pharmaceuticals. It was last production was 30 crores of rupees. This year it is going to produce 120, 200 crores. That's the target. 200 crores company. There is a demand, there is a market, we are innovating, we are moving into medical devices, and so many new medicines preparations are there. So it's okay, public sector, not only public sector. I'm saying public sector is important, but we won't give up that. Second is, how do we go about it? you have got to support people here. Otherwise, the economy won't be surviving the shock to herald the new world. Money has to reach the hands of people. It's locked down. Nobody has any money in their hands. So I would say the whole package, very well, go with the supply side thing, but take care of the demand. Otherwise, there will be a catastrophe.
Absolutely. Yes, that is, I think that is the criticism that is coming from all sectors of society. And having said that, one last question before I let you go, because I am doing the state view as a series. So I am talking to other state governments as well. It's always good to have some competition. So I want to know, how would you look at Kerala as a state? Of course, in terms of handling the health crisis, it has outbeaten every other state in the country. But if I had to ask you, if you look at actually incentivization of small scale industries, MSMEs, SMEs, and refueling the economy and making Kerala a manufacturing hub, how would you look at Kerala's position and juxtapose that with the rest of the states, and how do you think you compare?
See, our ethos has been focusing upon redistribution, higher wages, land distribution, and then public provisioning of services. And now there were a lot of people, particularly in my student days, who would be arguing that there is a trade-off between growth and equity, and therefore there is no growth in Kerala. The reason is your redistribution. But our investment in human resources enabled us to go abroad, get jobs, send back money. And today, Kerala's per capita income is 60% above the national average. Okay, that's good. That's good. But our dream is convert Kerala without losing any of our redistributive gains. We want to preserve all of them. We never give them up. But at the same time, make it also fastest growing economy in India, not just based on services, but based upon new set of industries which are in consonance with our resource endowments, as I told you, knowledge-based industries and so on. Because that will be a new Kerala. See, if you take India as well, you want me to compare, there are three types. One is Gujarat, very rapid growth, industrial growth, but little redistribution. But then there are a whole lot of, then there is opposite vast Kerala. There is a lot of redistribution, welfare, but industrial growth is poor. And then there is a large number of cases where there is neither industrial growth nor welfare. Many states, I don't want to name any state. Now we want to create a new model where it will be rapid industrial growth in terms of certain selected sectors and with equity. That everybody's basic needs are met. People are provided good education, good health care. Yeah, that's the idea. So when people appreciate, express appreciation for it, I feel confirmed in the belief that we have chosen the right path.
Fair enough. Well, I wish you all the very best for your endeavors in trying and salvaging the situation on ground, actually working through this very, very dark and trying times, and ensuring that Kerala's future, is in safe hands and can pivot into something that is opportunity post we overcome this very, very dark and trying crisis. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Truly a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much.